In the previous video, we showed how you could make an Ajax callback to dynamically repopulate this drop-down box here with different displayed value and stored value. So you can see here our list is alpha, beta, gamma, and then we make an Ajax callback and we repopulate that, and now we have alpha new, beta new, and gamma new. But when we do the submit, you can see that that the data submitted is 2 and not beta underbar new. So that shows that the stored value is different than the displayed value. But in this video, what we're going to do is show how this list here can be computed on the fly by making a query against a SQL database. So if we start out here blank again, you can see our list is alpha, beta, gamma, and then I'm going to do an Ajax callback and go and get a list of all of the customers from Northwind customer database. So click the repopulate button, and now you can see I've got a list of all of the customers in Northwind. And then if I go here and I first make a selection from the country field and then click the repopulate button, then you can see I'm only getting customers in the USA. Or if I went there and clicked on UK and then hit repopulate, and then you can see I'm just getting the customers in the UK. So before we actually get into the code that does this, I do want to point out that dynamically repopulating this drop-down box here based on the value of this drop-down box does not actually require any code, because it's a built-in feature of the drop-down box to create cascading drop-down boxes. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to code it using XBasic. So let's go back now to our controls, and we can see now that this button populate 3 is making an Ajax callback and calling a function called newlist3. So now let's go to our XBasic over here and take a look at newlist3. So the basic structure of the XBasic function is very similar to the previous ones that we've looked at, in the sense that we're going to be constructing JavaScript here in this callback. But before we can construct the JavaScript, we need to do a query. So let's walk through this XBasic code here. And I think the easiest way to do that would be to put in a debug1 and then step through the code line by line. So let's go there, and I'll go here and choose UK and then hit repopulate. So when the Ajax callback is made, the first thing that we can do is see what data is in e.data submitted, and we see that the country is equal to UK. So if nothing had been selected in that first drop down, then the country would be blank. So here's the SQL that we want to execute to extract the data, which is select customer ID, company name, and then if the country is not equal to null, then we want to add in a where clause. So you can see our where clause now is using an argument called what country, and now we're going to populate this argument called what country with the value in the country field. So now we have our SQL statement. Now we're going to just go ahead and open our connection. Then we're going to execute our SQL statement, passing in args as the second parameter, and then we're going to basically get a result set. And then by moving to the first row of the result set, we can see if there's any data in our result set. If there's no data, we just bail out by returning a null string. But we first close the connection and free the result set. And now what we do is we loop over every single row in the result set, creating the JavaScript array of display value and then stored values. So this is going to loop over the array here. So at this point now, text would have the first entry, and then we go here, and then there's the next entry, etc. But it's very important that since we're constructing JavaScript right now, that we use the JS escape function over here to make sure that, for example, single quotes are escaped, etc. So let's pause now and pick this up in the next video.